Hello. Got a lot to do in this video. The spectrums have finally started shipping, which is great. But one of the biggest things I want to break down is, I guess, why I'm a hater of Eve. I feel like I got a chance to kind of sit down, put it all in words. So I'm just going to kind of go over it, cover a few things, talk about the spectrums as they're being delivered, talk about what we is going to be very. I will be keeping a very close eye on in the near future when it comes to Eve and how they act. So let's just quickly just dive right into it. So I just made this post. I had heard from two of my sources that were like kind of iffy, kind of questionable on how many Spectrum refunds were due. So I kind of reached out to a few other of mine that were a bit more reliable, and I finally got some numbers back today. And at the moment, so if you ever remember with the Spectrum, what Eve said is, "Oh hey, we know you guys don't trust us from the last product where you paid full price. Give us $100. It's fully refundable. Trust us. We'll give you your money back if you ask for it. No questions asked." That was how they sold the Spectrum. Obviously, they fucking lied about it. And from my numbers that I have gotten, it's anywhere from 1,200 to 1,600 orders that are still that are in basically someone asking for refunds, starting anytime from back in last November up until very recently. I've been hearing about this number since the Linus Tech Tip video went up, and basically when the Linus Tech Tip video went up, that number skyrocketed. That number went from a few hundred to like over 1,000 in like the span of 2 weeks of people just saying like, "What is this crap? I want my money back." So it's my understanding that Eve has fulfilled very, very few Spectrum refunds. They keep telling people, "Oh, it's going to be 30 to 40 business days," which is equivalent to 2 months. They've recently come out and started blaming their payment processor, asiabill, for not refunding their money. I'll go into this post and break down why it's a bunch of crap. But this is the reason I'm mad at Eve. Okay? It's cool that they're delivering products finally. It's cool that they have some cool products. But there are thousands of people who have not gotten what they paid for, which is annoying. Like, that's the driving factor here. So back in December, I reached out to every single redditor that had ever posted on Reddit saying, "Hey, I ordered an EV. It was never delivered. I was never refunded." I PM'd 137 people, because one of the people on the list is me and the other person is the title. So I PM'd 137 people to say, "Hey, did you ever get your money back from Eve? I know you posted a year or 2 years ago, and how much did you pay?" So I made this document back in December, would put the number at about $230,000 that Eve owed, which I actually reached out to a few media outlets, and I actually had one of them actually publish it. Which Alex, you're great. I don't know if I ever called you on this. I think I called you before on the channel. Love you, Alex. So back in January, this number was about 225,000. That number now is at least 350,000, and I put up to 630,000. That's that's kind of a stretch. So obviously my data, I don't know how many V customers I reached out to. I guess about half. Again, based off my sources, there's about 300 to 400 orders out there that are unfulfilled of the V, and I got about 130 of them. So I'd say about half of those orders I captured. And then for the Spectrum, I know the number. I know the exact number, and I kind of fudged it up and down a little bit just so it's not obvious um, when I got the number, because I've had it for a little while. But I don't know how many of those orders. Oh, I ordered one monitor, ordered two monitors. I paid in dollars. I paid in euros. I paid in pounds. I don't know all that information. I just know the number of orders. That's all I've been given. There's no like dollar sign. There's no, well, there might be, but my sources haven't told me about it. But so this number, I think this number is very, very true. I think this number is a little bit out of reach, but I think $500,000 is a pretty easy number. To say 500,000 over 2,000 people is a pretty good number on what Eve owes. So whenever I make videos thrashing Eve for lying to people like they've done in the past, for delaying things like they've done in the past, it's for these 2,000 people who are getting fucked by this company, who trusted this company with their money and is getting fucked by them. That's why I make these videos. Okay, it's not just I don't care about the views. I don't care about anything. I want to bring awareness to these 2,000 people, and I want to see these people get their money back because I was one of those people. I managed to get a refund because I made these videos, because I annoyed the shit out of Eve, because I shit all over them. I actually got my money back. These other 2,000 people, they haven't. For whatever reason they've chosen, whether they still trust Eve for whatever reason, even though they shouldn't, which is what I keep trying to portray. Um, whatever reason they still trust this company, they do. And a lot of people just kind of have no outlets. I mean, they've gone through their banks, they've gone through PayPal, they've gone through asiabill, and they're just being denied anything. So, and they contact Eve, and he says, "Oh, please don't talk shit on us. We promise to give you your money back," and then they don't. It's these 2,000 people is who I make these videos for, and hopefully, I made a post back in January saying all I want to see Eve do this year is not lie to people and refund their customers. And they failed so many times in 7 months. It's ridiculous. And the fact that I know a lot of the stuff I make is a bit inflammatory, and it's to drive people to this, to make them understand, hey, this is not a trustworthy company. This company will take your money and run with it if given the opportunity. So this post I made again. So we started out. I broke down all the amounts. I put some numbers. I think the spectrum's anywhere from 120 to 190,000, again, depending on dollars to euros to pounds to single monitors to two monitors. I think anywhere between 120 to $190,000 is a pretty good estimate for spectrum refunds that are outstanding. And like I said, I put 220, which I think is about half of what's actually due. So I think it's closer to 440,000 on just the V orders. So easily, Eve owes $350,000 and possibly up to $630,000 to customers, which is absurd. So so the spreadsheet I put here, I've made a few posts about some steps to try and take. Obviously, the first thing you should do if you want your money back from Eve, first thing you do is message them, say, hey, I want my money back. You failed to deliver a product. I'd just like my money back, please. You promised me I could get my money back, and I would like it back. And then they'll bullshit you, jerk you around. Then you need to escalate it. You need to escalate. If you want your money back from me, you need to escalate. You can't, I'll wait for a refund. I did that. It took them 3 years. Don't do that. You need to tell them, I want my money back. You have a timeline, and then meet it. And then whenever they fail to meet it, as they do all their timelines, you escalate it. You contact your bank. You contact the payment process, whether it be asiabill, Stripe. If they change to someone else in the future, you contact them. Say, hey, I placed an order. They said it'd be refundable. Ask for a refund. They didn't refund me. And you just let them go from there. That's the best way to get your money back. Recently, Eve has started reaching out to Spectrum pre-order customers. They're giving them a SurveyMonkey link for their bank account information, which is really weird, really sketchy, really not secure. But that's how I got my money back, and it sucks that that's what it was, that I didn't just give me my money back the way I wanted to, but that is how Eve gave money back to people in the past. I really hope nothing bad comes of that SurveyMonkey, because all it takes is one rogue person to just dump all that bank account information, and it's not going to be pretty if that happens. It's just fucking not. What I did whenever Eve asked me for bank account information, I know not everybody can do this, is I just went to make a bank account. I have an online bank. Accounts are free to make. I made a free checkings account. I got Eve to deposit the money into that, withdrew it, and then closed the account. It's not for everybody to do that, but if that's something you can do, that's something maybe you should look into doing, is creating a free bank account, getting the money from Eve, getting it out, and then just closing it. If you do want that level of security, is that should this get leaked, here it is. So good luck with that. Eve is currently blaming asiabill, which I'm going to break down why that's complete bullshit. And I mean, obviously Eve, do I have it open? Yeah. These are all the companies Eve has blamed for things. PayPal, Sharp, their imaginary investor, Fortress, Imdor, customers, asiabill, Stripe, YouTube reviewers such as Linus Tech Tips, MediaTek, Amazon AWS, PCH, the Finnish Trade Register, Luhai, LG. All these companies have intentionally wronged Eve. It's never Eve's fault. It's all of these companies' fault. It's never Eve's fault. Eve will never take the blame for anything. Eve will never apologize because it's not their fault. So, 'cause right now, asiabill, I made this post 11 days ago. Now they're blaming asiabill. Wow. What are the odds? So their excuse is that asiabill doesn't refund after 180 days, which, so this is kind of long and it's kind of hard to break down. You can read it if you want, but the big thing to note, if you pre-ordered a Spectrum, you're not taking $100 out of your bank account and putting it in Eve's bank account. You're taking $100 out, you're putting it in a payment processor. The payment processor then puts into Eve's, and then Eve spins it however the fuck they want. Probably not on monitors, honestly. So every single time there's a transaction, there's a bit of a fee to it. So by the time Eve gets your $100 deposit, they get about $92, roughly. They lose about $8 whenever you say, "Here's a deposit." They lose $8. And again, that's good business people factor that into the price of everything, so it doesn't affect their bottom end. Eve is kind of fucking stupid, and they're definitely being affected by it, which is why they do this. So that's what happens whenever you give Eve $100 is they get $92, and then whenever you say I want a refund, well, now if you go through their payment processor, they charge even higher fee because now they're having to redo all these transactions again, and usually the fee's a bit higher, so Eve will probably pay about $115. So that basically means if you pre-order a Spectrum right now and then you cancel tomorrow, Eve lost $23. Eve just lost that money. It's just gone. So that's the right way to do it. That's how most vendors do it. Eve, being the weaselly little shits they are, what they have done, and which is why I guess I always knew this and I really articulated it very well, is that's why Eve delays things and Eve begs you to wait and Eve calls your goodwill, is because if they can wait out their payment processors time frames, then you can't go to them. You can't go to their payment processor and ask for a refund. Because if you go to a payment processor a year later and say, "Hey, I gave the company $100, they never gave me anything," they'll be like, "What do you want us to do about it?" You know, like there's time limits and all this types of stuff. So that's what Eve did. Is basically Eve started taking pre-orders through asiabill, took most of the pre-orders of 2020 through asiabill, and then in around August they switched to Stripe, which was a little weird. Eve did not like when I talked about that, and other users. A lot of posts were reported. A lot of posts on their forum or on their forum were deleted. I was threatened with legal action. Like, Eve was aggressive about not talking about payment processors back in August, and this is the reason why. Because basically they don't want customers knowing, "Oh, hey, we took all your orders through asiabill, took all that money out of asiabill and put it in our bank account, and then we told asiabill to fuck off." Basically, they don't want asiabill doesn't have your money. Similar to how the whole Fortress Tech Eve, where Eve doesn't have your money, Fortress has your money. Oh, asiabill doesn't have your money, Eve has your money. And so if you go to asiabill asking for a refund, they tell you, "We don't have any money." So basically what have to happen is that if you ask for a refund through asiabill, Eve has to deposit money back in there, pay the fee through asiabill, get flagged by asiabill by saying, "Hey, this guy has a lot of fucking refunds," and it just looks bad for you. It's just Eve doesn't want to draw a bad will with their payment processor because then they won't process their payments. That's what happened with PayPal back in 2017 with the V, was that they pushed a large volume of orders through. They didn't notify PayPal. They didn't contact PayPal. They fucked up with PayPal. I'm sorry, PayPal fucked up and froze all their money. And basically that's what happened, was that Eve called bad will with a payment processor and they got hurt by it. So what they're doing now is aggressively avoiding that by fucking customers, because customers don't really stop. There's only so many payment processors out there. There's millions of customers. You can fuck a few thousand customers and get away with it. That's Eve's mantra, whether or not anyone wants to admit it. So back in August, Eve switched from asiabill to Stripe. So I'll go down below, but if you pay through asiabill, you're basically fucked. You're basically the next V customer. You're never getting your money back, or if you will, it's going to be a long, long time. So what Eve is doing now as well is with the orders they are promising to refund, and why they're asking for bank account information, is that if you go through Stripe, Eve has to pay that refund fee. Eve has to notify Stripe of refunds. So the reason why Eve is trying to go through bank accounts is that way Stripe doesn't find out. They pay a lower fee, which is I think 3 to 5% for a bank transfer. So now Eve only loses $13, and Stripe doesn't need to know about it. So basically, Eve is now just trying to hide their fuck ups from their payment processors so they don't get flagged again. That's what Eve is doing right now when it comes to asking for your bank account information for a refund. They're just trying not to lose another payment processor because they've already lost at least 2 and probably more. I think maybe up to 5, but I know of those. I know of PayPal and asiabill. Those were very public, very messy, but I think there have been a few other ones that they've tried going through and failed with because of their shitty business practices. So, okay, so the other thing that could happen is, so those are 2 ways you get your money back. Is you go back to your payment processor, Eve takes 2 hits in costing you money and costing them money, and getting flagged by the payment processor, or they refund you directly, which means they take a less hit and the payment processor doesn't know. The third option is a credit card chargeback or a bank chargeback or a fraud thing. That one is really bad. So if you issue a refund through Stripe, Stripe says, Eve, pay your fucking money, give them their money back. And Eve goes, no, okay, fine, we'll do it. If you do a credit card chargeback, what happens is your bank says, shit, we're sorry. Thank you for banking with us. Here's your money back immediately. That money just comes out of the bank's bottom end. That comes out of the bank. And what happens is now your bank will flag the shit out of Stripe and say, fuck this company, and they'll start pegging them for the $100 back. And what happens is now Stripe is going to say, fuck, we're getting chargebacks now, which are like way worse than what it was before. So then they have to deal with the banks and Eve. But the thing about a chargeback is Eve isn't affected by it. Eve doesn't give a shit if you charge back or not. It just, well, I'm sorry, they do matter because, again, you're hurting their reputation with Stripe or their payment processor in general, but it doesn't cost them money. They don't care. I mean, they've changed payment processors before. They'll change them again if things get bad enough. Trust me on that. Because I know they're using Shopify, which Shopify integrates with hundreds of payment processors, so they can just click a button, set up a new account, and hey, now we take money through something else. And so that's the other way. The chargeback gets you your money back the fastest, the safest way, but fucks Eve the most. So I don't know. It hurts their reputation, doesn't cost them money, unless they get sued, which would be, God, oh my God, I wish I had money to sue this piece of shit company, but I don't. So what are your chances of getting your money back? If you placed an order early last year through asiabill, you're not getting your money back. You're not getting your money back. Eve doesn't associate with asiabill. asiabill doesn't have your fucking money. You're out of the refund window of both banks. You're not getting your money back anytime soon. You're basically the new breed of V orders. So sorry, you're on this list now. I apologize. I wish I could have made more content to sway you earlier where you could have gotten your money back, but I didn't. I'm sorry. If you ordered on Stripe up to around April, late April, I put 40 to 60. I think you got about a 50% chance getting your money back. So now the reason for this is that basically you might be within your bank's chargeback window. Some banks have 180 days where you can be like, hey, this transaction's bullshit. This company's yanking my chain. They're not refunding me. And you can issue a chargeback usually by that. And additionally, these are through Stripe. So if you start complaining to Stripe about, hey, this company's not giving my money back, they're not delivering my product, they've violated their terms of service that we entered into when I give them the money, now Stripe will start getting flagged, will start flagging Eve, which is very bad for Eve, so Eve does not want that to happen. So that's why I think you got about a 50% chance of getting your money back. Mostly because Eve will keep jerking your chain and keep telling you, oh, just please give us, we just started spectrum orders. We're going to start processing refunds in 3 months, which if you remember, last year they changed the date 3 times of, we're going to start processing V refunds in March, or I think it was March or April, and then it was June, and then it was December, and now it's sometime later. Like, they keep pushing the window back until you ignore them or just don't care anymore. So if you've ordered in the past 60 days and you've asked for a refund, you need to contact your bank immediately. You need to say, hey, this company isn't giving me my shit. You need to contact Stripe. You need to, this is your last chance is to get your money back, is like right now. Is that if you want a refund on your 240 hertz spectrum that's been delayed to October, or your 144 hertz spectrum that's been delayed to 2022, now is your last chance to ask for that. So I know a lot of people aren't, like I said, I know there's over 1,200 customers right now that are awaiting refunds. I know a good chunk of them are through asiabill, and I know that means most of them are going to fall in this window, which means most of them are going to get added to a list at some point in the future of, here's a list of all the people Eve have scammed. So now that that's out of the way, about why I make videos, why I don't want to see this cycle repeat, and how this cycle works, and what Eve is doing to you as customers, let's move on. So this is just a quick post I made. I thought it was pretty good, showing the pricing of the models as they've gone up. So right now, I have not seen a single pre-order ship below this price. So I believe this is like the break-even price for Eve. So these two orders, Eve is probably taking a loss on delivering these, between overhead, shipping, model, product costs, and everything. Eve is taking a loss on these, for sure. So that's kind of how the pricing goes. Take what you will from these pricings as well. Also, God, it's crazy. This has gone up $100. This has gone up like $120. This has gone up like 200 something bucks. Like, these prices Eve put out early last year was so unreasonable. So unreasonable. They were purely for marketing, and I guess they worked now that they have they have $500,000 in refunds instead of $225,000. They've doubled their refunds in a year, in 7 months. So I guess the marketing worked on that, but it is what it is. I made a post. How long should you wait for a refund? If you're like, okay, I placed an order, I paid full price on this date, give it 60 days. If you haven't received your order, if you have not received your product in 60 days, contact Eve immediately. Give them 2 weeks, contact your bank immediately and say, hey, this company's been fucking me, and I don't know where my order is. I don't know. They keep telling me different things. I don't have what I paid for. Now, this isn't the end all. Usually, your bank will have a grace period saying, okay, I filed a chargeback today. We're going to give them 45 days to respond. And so that means really, when I say 60 days, you're still giving Eve, what is that, 105 days to deliver a product that you paid full price for? That is an insane amount of time. Like, 100 days, it's over 3 months to deliver something. If they still haven't done that at the end of the time, that's on them. The reason why you want to do this within 60 days is you start the documentation trail early, and you light a fire under Eve's ass to make sure you get your shit. Because if you let this company walk all over you, they will walk all over you. They've done it to over 2,000 people. They're going to continue to do it. That's just what they do. I don't know why they keep getting away with it and why they keep doing it, but they do. So 60 days. You place your order, you count 60 days, and then you start there. When you start this process, you understand that there's 2 outcomes. You're getting your money back, or you're getting your product. There is no waiting. There is no you're going to keep waiting. Because if you keep waiting, the other 2 options go away. If you say, oh, I want to close my chargeback, they gave me a shipping number. No, you wait until that product comes in. Eve has been known to give out bad tracking numbers with the V. They would give out fake tracking numbers and say, oh, it must have gotten lost in shipping. They'd give out packages that were returned to the factory 3 times before it actually got delivered. Like, don't trust a tracking number. When you have a working product in hand, I'd like to close this chargeback. You need to do that. This is for your safety, to make sure you get your product or your money. That is the stance you need to take. If you take anything less than that, you're going to get screwed. And that is why my stance has always been, I think the Spectrum is a very cool product. I'll probably pick one up eventually. I will buy one from Amazon. I will buy one from Best Buy. I will not buy direct from Eve, because anything bought directly from Eve, you're going to get screwed on if given the option. So I guess maybe that's been the discretionary thing that I've missed, is that, oh, well, they're shipping some. Like, yeah, but like they've shipped some of 1/3 of their products they've promised. And you think that somehow that's winning? Like, they've delayed a product now for, where's it at? From 2019 to 2020. They've delayed a product for 2 years. Like, what do you, like, how is this winning? Like, don't try and tell me that, like, oh, Eve is different now. Like, oh, they're so much better. It's because they're delivering stuff. Like, cool, they're delivering some things, but you still have $500,000 worth of people who want their money back. Like, what? So the posts that I made also recently, the thing that will, so shipping products is the first step Eve needed to take to start swaying favor back to them. And it's going to sway a lot of people. And a lot more people are going to get scammed. This number's going to keep going up because people are kind of stupid. So it is what it is. But the next thing I want to see Eve fix is their support. This was a story I think I've covered it once or twice. I feel really bad for this dude, but this dude did a really good job of documenting, like, hey, here's every single email chain I've had with Eve, and here's where they started fucking me, and the fucking started 2 days after he got his device. So the big thing I need to see from Eve is that I want to see people say, I reached out to support for a broken monitor, and I had a new monitor in hand a week later. I want to see that. That's what needs to happen for me to stop shitting all over this company. That's the next step. And then the step after that is to finally start refunding people. Once these steps are taking place and once this company starts showing that they are acting in goodwill towards customers again, I'll lay off. I don't have a problem retracting some of my statements. I've made a lot of posts that have turned out wrong. I mean, I don't mind admitting that, because again, at the end of the day, it's not about destroying Eve. Because if I destroy Eve, $2,000 or $500,000 is up in the air, plus whatever orders are actually fulfilled. Haven't asked for. Like, you're talking, that's millions of that's $1 million gone. Like, if I win, like, my winning is when these people reach out to me and say, I got my refund. Thank you for all the shit posting you've done, all the trolling you've done. Thank you. I got my money back. You're awesome. That's me winning right there, is when these people get their money back. So products are shipping. Some products to some people who paid some amount of money. It's very limited, but there are spectrum of people's hands, in customers' hands. I've verified a few legit customers. I don't have a problem with that. Like, they're getting products into customers' hands. I'm sure reviews are going to be popping up very shortly. Good God, this is a long video. Reviews will be popping up shortly, which will be good. I do hope that content creators out there can take that step and be like, hey, this is a cool product. I think I even posted this in this is a cool product. This is a shady company. Like, if you can, just wait, because it's going to hit another storefront. They need to. They're not going to sell everything to their store. I mean, even their express shipping takes like 2 weeks. Like, people are going to wait that. People are going to wait for it to go on Amazon. It's going to go on Amazon. I hope to God that's the message content creators can push, is that yeah, these things are existing, but there's $500,000 in refunds of disgruntled customers. There's thousands of disgruntled customers that aren't being supported by this company. I hope that content creators can do their due diligence. I doubt they will. I know a few will, because I've reached out to a lot. I think I've reached out to 20, 30 people in media and review websites, and I've had conversations with a few of them. Some of them argued with me. That was really fun. I talked to them a few videos ago. Mark at Blurbusters, like, oh, you're completely wrong. This company's great. I'm like, Mark, here's a list of 150 people that were scammed. What do you mean? Like, I'm not making this shit up, dude. Like, whatever. Like, people just think that I'm just like trying to shit on this company. It's like, no, I just want people to get their money back. Like, is that really such a wrong thing to do? Maybe the way I'm going about it. Maybe I should have just sat back and just praised Eve and hope for the best. Like, I don't know. It's like a big, it's been said before, it's like a big pyramid. It's a big Ponzi scheme where, yeah, you guys buying monitors is just paying off past investors. Oh, man. I've heard some crazy stories, too, about some people working internal at Eve. I can't corroborate any of this. It's really unfortunate. Like, my sources, I have a lot of sources, and, like, I have to keep their anonymity because Eve is fucking crazy. So they've threatened me with legal action. They've threatened a lot of people with legal action. Instead of just not being shitty, they just want to sue people. It's like, just don't be shitty. Like, that's all it takes. Just don't be shitty. Like, that's all it takes. It's so simple. But instead, they're gonna just shit on me, and I forgot to save a few posts, but there have been Eve employees and people very close to Eve shit on me, call me like, oh, this person's just bad intention, da 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 da. It's like, dude, no. It's like, me asking for a refund is bad intention. Excuse me? Like, I've been waiting 3 years for my money, and I'm bad intentioned? Go fuck yourself. So I think that's where I get the disconnect from, is that I get a little worked up sometimes when people are like that. So hopefully this video has explained my point of view. Hopefully, all 300 of you that are going to watch this, I love you. I hope none of you have pre-ordered a V or pre-ordered anything from Eve, or if you did foolishly buy something that's actually been delivered, I hope for the best for you. Thanks for watching. I guess I didn't go over this last tab, and this is just customers getting their stuff, which is good. Like I said, it seems to be just like, oh, it works. Good for them. They got the Spectrum working. A few bugs in the firmware. I'm sure they'll work out, but is now time to buy a Spectrum? No! God damn it! Stop! Don't buy this crap. Fuck. Just wait. Like, it's been in product development hell for 18 months. You can wait another 2 for it to get into a proper retailer. Because guess what? If you buy it from Amazon and it's fucked up in 10 days, they'll give you your fucking money back. If you buy something from Eve and it's fucked up the day you buy it, they'll tell you to fuck off for 8 months and then tell you, yeah, you want to buy another one? That's what they're going to do to you. Just don't buy direct from this company because they will just fuck you. They will string you along for as long as possible and just hope that you forget about it and just eat the L. That is how this company works. So, I'm sorry. Hopefully the next video won't be this long. I was literally expecting it to be like a 5-minute video. I always expect it to be short and they go run way the fuck over. Now I'm just rambling. I'm sorry. Next video, we are going to review a Spectrum. No, we're not, because we didn't fucking buy one because we're not stupid. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to go to bed. It's midnight. But yeah, next video, I'm hoping refunds start going out. Because I know Eve has an income flow of people who will be buying Spectrums, who will be trusting them to be delivered eventually. Eve has that income flow finally, which is good for them. Hopefully they use that to start refunding people. Hopefully they use that to start paying back employees. I've heard stories of employees not being paid for 4 months. They just stopped getting paid one day and they haven't been paid since December, January. So it's just like, oh yeah, just fuck our employees. Like, it's terrible, but hopefully it corrects itself. And hopefully there won't be another. Hopefully this number doesn't get any higher, but it will. It will. All right. I love you all. Talk to you later. Goodbye. Oh, add me on Discord or Reddit or whatever. Just hit me up. I like talking to people.